Green 18! Green 19!
Fournette, the running back. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Brady to throw. Throws a deep pass downfield. And Scotty Miller in the open. Makes the catch. Touchdown, Tampa Bay!
Rodgers fires quickly. End zone is caught for the touchdown by Allen Lazard. First and goal for the 5. Brady. Evans. Did he catch it? Yes, sir. Touchdown. Rodgers spins to his left. Comes underneath, and the pass is incomplete, out of bounds. Now they say complete. 3rd and 1. Rodgers play action. Look to the end zone. Rainbow Jordy Nelson. He's got it. Touchdown.
Mahomes looking under pressure. Throws the ball upfield. It is knocked away at the 50-yard line. Intercepted. Picked off a deflection.
All right, but enough about our
anyway.
enough about our bullshit with our past lives.
Enough about us being losers.
What's up, guys? I am back, and welcome to episode 38 of the Battle for the Bay podcast. With me, as always, Draz.
Howdy.
All right, so last week we did tier rankings for quarterbacks in the NFL. So we figured, well, might as well do the head coaches, and maybe up until preseason starts, we'll do the rest of the positions. But for now, we got head coach rankings.
And I'm actually kind of interested in doing this because there's a few that I think might surprise people, but I think most of them, I feel like most people are going to agree with our takes on who is on the hot seat.
Well, we'll see, because we might have some freaking humdingers that are... we might have some doozies when it comes to our opinions.
Maybe.
But starting off, we got our tiers. Safe for those that we know are not going to be fired. Questionable for rookie head coaches or head coaches we know might be on a little bit of a bend. Warm seat, you haven't been doing well, and you're not up to expectations. Hot seat, you're close to being fired, and then fired, well, we're just going to say those are the worst head coaches in the league that somehow still have a job.
Yeah, and then I'll, I don't know if you're going to do this, but I'm going to rate them in, order as well, so I'll put them in order. For example, Andy Reid's going to be the top of safe, and he's going to be closer to, he's going to be rated towards the top of head coaches because, he's...
for example, if I have, 5 head coaches on safe, I'll still rank those coaches in preference of who I would want.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
But, let's just get on with this. The first coach we have is Aaron Glenn of the Jets. Now, he drummed up a little bit of controversy during the offseason because he put in Bible study for player causes. Optional, but he did it.
I'm going to put him in... I'm going to maybe start off with controversy. I'm going to put him in warm seat to start.
Ooh, interesting.
Because it's the Jets, and he hasn't really... he's not an offensive-minded coach. There's been a lot of,
we both agree that the Jets are going to be a disaster. Again.
Yeah. I'm not going to say I'll put him in the top of warm seat because I don't want to say, oh, he's going to fail, because I don't necessarily want him to fail, but he's on the Jets, which puts him in the warm seat just because he's the Jets head coach. If that makes sense.
There's two sides to Aaron Glenn. You got Aaron Glenn with a healthy unit, which is they constantly get burnt. Then you got Aaron Glenn with duct tape and strings, in which he pulls everybody together, and they only allow 3 points to the Vikings in Week 18.
Yeah.
Now, I will put him in questionable, but I won't be putting him in a warm seat. He's going to have at least a year under his belt before they fire him.
You know what? I'll put him in questionable because I agree he won't get fired in a year.
I'll say he's not going to be. You can always discount.
But I can see it going really bad.
Unless it's a not Les Miles. Who the fuck is it?
Jaguars head coach.
No, like, I'm trying to think of his... Well, yeah, he was the coach.
Urban Meyer?
Thank you. Unless it's an Urban Meyer disaster year one, you're not going to be fired on your first year. Well,
yeah,
usually.
I guess I'll put him in questionable.
He'll
be the bottom.
There's a couple of rookie
though.
coaches in here that I think will be fired after 1 year, but let's say we don't
nobody's expecting the Jets to do anything either, so I don't know.
Yeah. All right, Andy Reid, safe.
Well,
he's
safe.
Like, I keep hearing, there's things that keep coming about him about how much of an asshole he is, but he's not going to get fired. As long as the Chiefs keep doing what they're doing, nobody on that team is going to be fired.
Yeah, he's safe beyond safe.
The only way he goes is if he retires or has a heart attack on the sidelines.
Who's this next guy?
Is
that the Bears head coach?
I think that is Ben Johnson.
Dude,
but I'll say from what I've seen with recent pictures, it does. From what I've seen in recent pictures, it looks like he's already stressed the fuck out and has gray hair. This it looks youthful and lively.
It is. I found the actual picture they used. Okay. Oh my God. Damn, dude.
All right, I'm just gonna put Ben Johnson in safe, and I will actually put him over Andy Reid. I do like Ben Johnson. Like, he did amazing things in Detroit. I just wish he went to the fucking Jags and not the Bears.
I'm gonna put him in the top of questionable because I think he's relatively safe, but especially because the Bears don't move on from people that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see a disaster scenario where, a Matt Nagy situation.
Well, I mean, Matt Nagy still lasted like 3 years.
He still lasted
3 years, which is pretty much telling for the Bears organization. Okay, then again, Virginia McCaskey's dead, so maybe they won't be doing that shit anymore.
We have our next tiered, our first fired tier for me.
Is that Kevin Stefanski?
That's the Titans head coach.
Oh yeah, fuck off, Bryant. Oh,
I think it's Brian Callahan, right?
It is Brian Callahan. I think you're right.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah. I found
Brian
the picture
Callahan
again. I found the exact picture again. He's bad. He's just bad. I know the Titans are a bad roster, but he's one of the most uninspired head coaching.
He's Zach Wilson, not Zach Wilson. He's Zach Taylor without Joe Burrow carrying him.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much a great way to describe it.
We'll get to Zach Taylor, by the way, soon, but...
Yeah.
But, God, I don't understand how Zach Taylor still has a job and how Brian Callahan even was able to get one.
If Vrabel gets fired, Taylor keeps his job.
This is the world we live in.
All right. This is going to be a controversial one. No matter where you put him.
Okay, Brian Dable, we've seen the best of what he can do, and we've seen the worst of what he can do. Best of what he can do, he can get you to a playoff game and win you one in the wild card against the most fraudulent team of the year. However, we've seen him put up more stinker seasons than usual.
I'm gonna put him in hot seat, not quite fired.
I will also.
But I could see him getting fired this year.
I will also put him in hot seat. Like, if it doesn't work out with this season, like obviously they're approaching it with the thought of it being a transitional year with them getting both Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston.
Yeah, they're looking to. I do love their draft that they did. I love the draft that they got. So we'll see how that turns out. But yeah.
I don't if things go bad this year, Brian Dable's gone.
Oh yeah. They got to show significant improvement at least.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could have a top 10 defense though, so he could survive based on defensive performance alone.
Yeah. Which leads us to who the fuck is this?
Ooh.
Why am I don't think I've seen this guy before. Oh wait, yeah, it is Brian Schottenheimer. The last three guys we did were all named Brian. And if it's by first name, which I think it is, Brian Callahan, Brian Dable, Brian Schottenheimer. It is Brian Schottenheimer. No wonder why we didn't know who the fuck he is.
Oh, is it the Cowboys coach?
It's the Cowboys head coach that nobody knows about. I'm putting him fired automatically. He's done nothing his entire career, and he's basically going to be a puppet for Jerry Jones.
Yeah, his
almost said Jerry Reed.
Jerry Jones's hand is going to be so far up his ass.
Just
a whole fucking season. All right, well, we have another one, top of safe.
Dan Campbell. You can't hate Dan Campbell. It's impossible to hate Dan Campbell.
I'm gonna put him the top of.
I know. I'm putting
safe.
him. I'm putting him on the top of safe.
He's so safe this year.
I'm putting him on the top of safe this year. Like, no way. There's no way you can hate.
And now
Dan
we have
Campbell.
the second. We have the second person in safe as well here.
Yeah, Dan Quinn did a lot more than what anybody expected.
Yeah, no. He had.
He
had one of the best coaching.
Everybody expected all the free agent acquisitions they do to be like withered husks because they were old, but they all had renaissances, and I think Dan Quinn was the main reason for that, especially with Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, him, and it makes no sense, but Cliff Kingsbury and Dan Quinn together worked so fucking well.
Now let's just hope to God that the Commanders don't go through what the Falcons went through. But I'll say with the Falcons, that's endlessly funny. With the Commanders, I'll just be sad.
Oh my God, who is this next guy?
But yeah, no, Dan Quinn is going in spot on the safe for me. I think that's Dave Canales, by the way. I'll put him in questionable.
Canales, that's who's head coach?
Carolina.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'll put Dave Canales in questionable above Aaron Glenn, because Dave Canales he has that reputation of being a quarterback whisperer. And he was brought in to fix Bryce Young for whatever he was worth, and, well, he had a good 6-game stretch.
Yeah, I'm going to put him in questionable. I think he survives this season, regardless.
I still have respect for Dave Canales, even though he went to Carolina. He proved that the Bucs were not a joke, and then after the next year, we still proved that we were not a joke, and then Dave Canales got all the credit for reviving Baker Mayfield. So... I'm not sad that he's. I'm not upset that he's gone, but I'm not upset that he went. But I'm glad he was here.
Yeah.
But next,
all right, DeMeco Ryans. I'm gonna put him in warm seat, and I'll explain why.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna do the same thing.
He's our first in warm seat because he's not on the same level as Brian Dable, where it's he is one bad season away from torching on the hot seat, but he didn't have a great season last year, and if you're the Texans, you need to be contending right now in your quarterback's rookie contract, so you can't fuck around with mediocre seasons, right?
Again, I still think in back-to-back years they had what I can't even remember the coach they had before Lovie Smith. He was another 1-year stopgap, and then it was Lovie Smith, and then it was DeMeco.
I mean, DeMeco's been good. They've already had more success with him than they've had in a while, but
I mean, they still have a 19 to something record, bordering across 500 even.
Yeah, you got to start winning games right now, or he's in trouble.
I still think that Texans fans, or not Texans fans, but the entire Texans organization is still in that honeymoon phase of we were so bad for the last 3 years and anything's going to be better than that. This is the year to prove that the Texans are actually here to stay and not just a flash in the pan. Yeah. If they go 7-10, that's disaster.
Yeah. So basically he's in the position where what I'm going to consider warm seat is it's where why can't I think of his name? Bucs head coach
Todd Bowles.
It's where Todd Bowles and Nick Sirianni were last year, where bad season you get put in the hot seat. You're 2 seasons away from getting fired, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. You're 2 seasons away from getting fired, and you're 1 season away from proving your worth. If that makes sense.
I gotcha.
So Yeah, you might not get fired this season, but if you have a bad season, you're going to be on the hottest of hot seats the next season.
Oh Lord! All right,
Which puts us to the Harbaughs, which
Jim Harbaugh. Okay, both of them are going to be
both of
safe.
them are going in safety here.
I'll take Jim Harbaugh over Ben Johnson. I'll take John Harbaugh above Dan Quinn. Jim, he has charisma like you would not fucking believe. If you want a motivator head coach for anything, Jim's your guy to go to. John Harbaugh, he has the success he wants. He's been very successful with both Flacco and Lamar Jackson. But he only has one Super Bowl to his name, and he hasn't been back there since Flacco in 2012.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with success, so I'm going to put him there, but if they slip at all, I could see him flying down. I think he's the shakiest safe we have.
Definitely. Like, if you can't get past the divisional half the time with the team you have, there's a problem.
I was going to say with the roster and quarterback you have.
Because you have somebody who's won 2 MVPs, and yet you cannot beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. Or even make it that far.
Yeah.
All right, this is Jonathan Gannon. Okay.
This Arizona, yeah.
Call me crazy? I'm going to put him bottom of safe. Oop. Like, the Arizona Cardinals keep getting better. Like, first year they were 3-14, but god damn did they hack a limb off you if you played them. Like, they lost, but they would do everything in their power to take you down with them. And then the next year they went 9-8, barely missing the playoffs. Or
with not much talent on the roster. I'm gonna put him in questionable. Because I like him, but I also like
he's doing he's doing great work with limited resources.
Yeah, I just don't think that they improved enough this year.
Actually,
to compete.
I will bump him down to top of questionable.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with top of questionable.
All right.
Because he might get unlucky because it's a very strong division.
Like literally anybody in the NFC West can win it.
Yeah. Yeah, so he might get unlucky, have some games, go 7-10, and then boom, he's on the hot seat, and it's like it might not necessarily be deserved.
Mm-hmm.
But
all right, not Kevin Stefanski. Why did I say
Vikings head coach, right?
No, this is the Saints. Kellen Moore, there we go. Why did I say Kevin Stefanski? Well, probably because he's right here, but all right, I'm going to put him in hot seat.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like,
he's not fired because we know they're going to suck.
Well, this guy is like screaming a one and done. It just screams one and done to me. Because he's the last guy he's the last guy in the process to be given a job. And if you know Kellen Moore for anything besides what happened last year in the playoffs, here's what you got to remember. QB draw on a 3rd and 9 in the playoffs with like 10 seconds to go. Zeke at center. And then completely botching the Chargers offense during his tenure there. Those are the 3 things that stick out in my mind.
I just think the Saints are going to be really, really, really bad.
We both think the Saints are going to be really bad. It's just a degree of a couple of games.
Exactly. I don't know if anyone can survive. He might survive one season just because it's that, but I don't know if he's going to be able to survive. And for example, say they get the number 1 pick next year and get like the best quarterback coming out of the draft. Who's to say they won't fire him and put someone that's better at developing young people? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he might just get fired based on we want someone better.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now this is the Vikings head coach.
This is the Vikings head coach.
I would put him in safe. There's no way. There's no way he gets fired. There's no way he gets fired.
The thing is, I don't know where to place him.
He was 14-3 last year with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, they went 13-4 and then 14-3 in a couple of years, but then they immediately fell apart in the playoffs.
I can't even hold it
This
against
is a head
him, though.
coach this is a head coach that's the epitome of a paper tiger. I'll put him top of questionable. Like, I can't put him in safe because he has no playoff success besides going. Like, he has no playoff success despite going like 13-4 and 14-3 respectively.
Yeah,
And
but
then
I don't
the
think
one-
his roster, especially defensively, is good enough to go what their record. I think they overachieved during the regular season both years.
We know they overachieved, but they fell apart in the playoffs. And once you get to the playoffs, it doesn't matter what your record is. If you don't win one game, you're going to get some eyes looking at you like you're crazy.
Yeah. I'm still gonna put him in safe though.
I
think he's
can't.
safe.
I'll put him top of questionable for now. I just can't with him. I can't. Now, Kevin O'Connell.
Now, the hardest coach to gauge.
His family's being held hostage by Jimmy Haslam. It has to be. That's the only reason why he's being forced to put Deshaun Watson out in the field. And the reason why they had to draft Shedeur Sanders. That's the only reasonable explanation I have.
He is a great coach, stuck in one of the worst situations I've ever fucking seen.
And he can't fucking leave. He's literally being held at gunpoint.
I'm gonna put him in warm seat.
Yeah, warm seat above D'Amico.
Yeah, I don't see him getting fired at the end of this season.
Like, he doesn't fire. You can't fire him. He quits. That's exactly what's going to happen.
And then your favorite coach in the league, Duval.
You're going and fired. Go away.
I'm gonna put him in questionable, just because it's the Jaguars.
Okay.
He's the best coach to go through there.
Okay. Now, hear me out. Liam Cohen, he's a fucking bastard for what he did in Tampa. For what he did with Tampa whenever the hiring process was going on. Agreed to an extension and then fucked right off afterwards because the Jaguars fired Trent Baalke. Here's the thing: if they fired Trent Baalke earlier, they would have nailed the interview process with Ben Johnson, and then he would be the Jags head coach. Then we would still have our current offensive coordinator, who is Liam Cohen. But now we have Jonathan Grizzard, who is basically Liam Cohen 2.0. But at the same time, he revived Baker Mayfield. He didn't revive Baker Mayfield, but he made Baker Mayfield into one of the most productive passers in the league. Yeah, more interceptions, but that's going to come to cost. Throwing it a lot more. Now, I'm just going to do this.
I hope to God Liam Cohen makes Trevor Lawrence's life a lot easier.
Yeah, I know. Like, there's two sides of the spectrum. A, I want him to fail miserably, but B, I can't do it. Like, I'm going to put him middle of questionable above Dave Canales. As much as I hate the fucking guy. Ugh.
What is this? Who's this?
That's Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah,
Wait.
Shanahan. Yeah, it's Shanahan. That's Shanahan.
Wait, you sure? Who's the guy next to him if that's not Kyle Shanahan?
The next one's Matt LaFleur.
Oh, thank you. All right, so this is Kyle Shanahan. I got to put him in warm seat above D'Amico and below Stefanski. Like, we've seen him put on some good teams, and they did make a couple of Super Bowl runs, but you just can't get above the fact that he chokes away every single big game he has. Like, it's not even a joke anymore. It's just the fucking truth.
I'm going to put him in safe because I don't think the 49ers are going to move off of him anytime soon.
Like, don't be surprised if he does get fired, though. Like, they can only do so many more years with getting so close to, but so far.
People also say that about you can only do so many more years with Mike Tomlin, and yet he never gets fired.
Well, that's more the Steelers that's more the Steelers' problem than the Mike Tomlin's problem.
Yeah.
All right, Matt LaFleur.
He's got to be in safe. Like, there's.
I'm gonna put him bottom of safe,
especially with the Packers, because how long did it take us to fire Mike McCarthy?
I think
Way
like
too
12
long.
years. Like maybe 10 years too many. Because I don't know when you guys. I don't know when you guys hired him before you guys won that Super Bowl.
But yeah, he was. Matt LaFleur is still. I don't think he's outdated, so I'll say that. So
I still got to remind you,
while.
kicking it kicking a field goal down by 8 in the NFC Championship game. Genius play call.
With Aaron Rodgers, who was playing better than Tom Brady.
I mean, to be fair, that second half,
With Kevin King on the other side.
To be fair,
fair,
the second half of that NFC Championship game, I was literally flipping a shit because I saw my life flash before my eyes because of the 3 interceptions he threw. Ugh. Oh, by the way, not one of them was caught by Kevin King.
Injured offensive line.
Ugh. By the way, we also had the handicap of having
it.
Donovan Smith on our offensive line. So what's your excuse?
Fucking offensive line couldn't stop a cold, so Rodgers got sacked like 4 times in the second half or something like that. Just like
we love you, Shaq Barrett.
fucking.
All right, but Kevin O'Connell or wait, that's not. We already did him.
Who is this?
I know the face. Joy's probably laughing at us right now because she probably knows half of these people off the bat.
The fuck is this?
Like, I know the face. I know it.
He's a new coach.
I know the face. I just can't fucking pinpoint it. No, Indy is Shane Steichen. Okay. That is not Shane Steichen.
It's not the Falcons head coach. It's not.
No.
I'm trying to go through all the. Is it the Seahawks head coach?
It is Mike McDonald. You're right. It is Mike McDonald. God, Joy, John is going to murder me for taking so long to get that.
It is. Okay.
All
Dude,
right.
I was right.
I'm going to put him in safe above Kevin Stefanski. Fuck me.
I'm going to put him in questionable.
Kyle Shanahan. I'm going to put him in safe above Kyle Shanahan. They've had 10-7 records for both seasons, and they barely missed the playoffs because of strength of schedule or strength of victory. So
yeah, I'll put him at the bottom of safe. Put him in the bottom of safe.
Like again, he's in the NFC West, which is going to be so fucking competitive. It's not going to be funny.
All right, well, I'm not going to think too hard about that one.
Yeah, no, Mike McDaniel, you're going bottom of hot seat. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm putting him in fired.
I'm sorry, but you keep fucking getting away with the dumbest shit.
I'm putting him in fired. His team
can't function below 50 degrees. His team is based on speed and nothing else. He can't get the right coordinators to save his life, and his GM is a fucking idiot.
The Dolphins are a fucking disaster. They've had so much talent come through there in the last 5 years, and they've done nothing with it.
All right, then we got Mr. Winning Seasons himself. He's going on the very bottom of safe. The Steelers never fire anybody, and as long as Mike Tomlin keeps getting above 500, he will never not have a job.
I'm going to put him in questionable because if they get bounced in the first round after like doing their win now moves that they've been doing and stuff like that, like
I wouldn't even call it win now. I wouldn't even call what they did win now.
It's the Steelers version of it, so it's like not really win now, but it's them acting like they're going all in. So they're doing a little bit more than what the Cowboys said they were going to do because they were all in. But it's the Steelers version of going all in, which is like making 2 deals with not doing a whole lot for your roster.
Yeah. All right, Mike Vrabel, safe above Tomlin, safe. Above Kevin,
I'll put him below Andy Reid.
Mike, above Quinn, above. I'll put him below Andy Reid. Again, I love Mike Vrabel. He's an amazing head coach, and he lost a power struggle in Tennessee. If he doesn't leave Tennessee, they're not in the position they are in.
No, they. Dude, he wouldn't have kept the quarterback situation the way it was either.
Definitely not. And the thing is, his first game with what's his name? His first game he played with Will Levis, he threw for 4 touchdowns. Yeah, he did not do good for the rest of the stretch, but he could still work with him. You can at least have continuity.
Yeah.
But no, you fire him and you replace him with a fucking idiot.
This next head coach is...
Oh,
I'm
Christ.
staring down the barrel of Nick Sirianni.
What do we fucking do with Nick Sirianni? He won a Super Bowl, but it was...
He was on the hot seat. Like, he was on, like, borderline fired,
How do you dodge a fucking bullet like he did?
I guess you gotta put him in safe.
You have to put him in safe. As much as I hate him, you have to put him in safe. Above Tomlin, above Kyle, above Mike, below Quinn. He's safe. As much as I hate to fucking say it, like, you know he's a hack, but he keeps getting away with it.
Dude, I can't even hate him. Like, it's not like it's top tier fucking trolling. His fans, even the Eagles hate him. Like, Eagles fans hated him last year. They were like, please fire this man. And then they win the Super Bowl with him. It's like, you're not gonna get him.
Like, if there's a head coach whose coordinators carried him, it's him.
Oh my god, it's fucking hilarious, bro.
I'm at a monster.
Oh god. And dude, Pete Carroll, bro.
I can't.
One of the most uninspired hires.
Pete Carroll's entire existence revolves around following Jim Harbaugh wherever he goes. He's just there to haunt the man.
I'm gonna put him in questionable, like above
I'm putting him
Liam,
bottom of
like,
questionable. I'm putting him bottom of questionable.
I think it's fair. I'm gonna put him in mid to top questionable because I don't think he'll go down in one season.
He won't go down in one season. Like
in the division he is.
He won't go down in one season. He has at least 3 years before he retires again.
Yeah. I don't even
like. I give him 3 seasons. I give him 3. If he goes more than 3, okay. But the man's like what, in his mid 70s? He has to be getting out. He has to be thinking about like just sitting down on a beach chair. He's in fucking Las Vegas too, so he might go for a year, think, oh yeah, this is a nice place to retire.
Or he just gambles all his money away and he has to coach football because he's gambled it all away.
I actually think that's a violation of the NFL's personal conduct.
All right, well.
Raheem Morris, I'm putting him bottom of fired. Like,
I'm gonna put him in a warm seat.
No. No. He deserves going fired, and I'll tell you why. 2012 to 2014 or 2015, he was our head coach. Or I remember him being our head coach for a little bit. Besides one winning season, he's been awful. He's been awful everywhere he goes that comes to head coaching. The Falcons hire him thinking he's going to fix their defense. Their defense only has a total of 15 sacks?
They did draft well on defense, I think.
No,
this year.
You traded away a first to get another pass rusher at the end of the second round, at the end of the first round. I would not call that a good draft.
They got two pass rushers in the first round, so I mean.
But Raheem Morris,
we'll see. I'll put him in warm seat.
Raheem Morris is a defense. He is a defensive coordinator, but how much of that was because he was with fucking Aaron Donald for half his career?
He'll survive one season at least.
No, he's bottom of fire for me. Like, there's nobody worse than Raheem Morris. Nobody worse.
I'd say McDaniels is. I fucking hate McDaniels.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, whenever the Falcons hired him, I laughed my ass off. Because I knew exactly what would happen, and it's happened. And nobody fucking gave me any credit.
He's 2-0 against the Bucks, though.
Oh, yeah, because we actually handed them the fucking games. Both times. They didn't deserve to win that. We just handed them the win.
All right. McDermott. Oh, boy.
Top of warm seat. If he was not carried by Josh Allen, he would have been out of there 2 seasons ago.
I'm going to put him in questionable.
Like, he can get you the AFC Championship game, but he can't beat the Chiefs to save his life. And when he can, it's only in the regular season.
I think that says more about Andy Reid than McDermott.
Well, even
This
then,
is
like
more about Andy Reid than McDermott.
even then, we've seen them.
Who's better
put
out
up
there
some-
than McDermott? Like,
Huh?
you get what I'm saying? Like, who's a better head coaching option? Like, I'd say Vrabel. Like, but they didn't fire and get Vrabel, so Vrabel's at another organization.
Well, I mean,
If they pivot off of McDermott,
to be fair,
who
once
would they go to?
once Jerome Mayo was fired, we all knew who was going to go there. We all knew Vrabel's was going to go there.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. It's like who would you pivot to? You would have to fire him in the same year that a really good head coach like Kyle Shanahan or so, like someone big gets fired or like moves on from their team, or like just some crazy coordinator that like dominated the whole year. You know, you know what I'm saying? It's like there has to be a successor that would make sense to move off from McDermott, because he's gotten you to the AFC Championship a lot. Like there's a lot of success there. The problem is Chiefs have black devil magic
Every single fucking
yeah.
time. All right, Sean McVay, safe, and I'm going to put him above Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him.
Every single
safe.
NFL team goes with somebody who's like Sean McVay. They always try to find the next one. That speaks volumes to what impact you've had on the league.
Yeah, he's ridiculously good. A ridiculously good head coach. And you know how I feel about them this year, so.
Yeah, I know, and I still don't understand it. I still don't. No matter how many times you explain it to me, I still won't get it.
You're gonna hate my next pick. You're gonna hate my next spot.
Duck lips himself.
He's safe, dude.
He's safe. I know he's fucking safe.
I'm gonna put him in bottom of safe, but like
he is so I'm gonna put him bottom of safe, but here's the thing. He is such an overrated fuckwipe. He was carried by Breeze his entire career. Schedule merchant prowess got into the playoffs last year. Like it is it's Nick Sirianni, except you know he was around so much longer. Like you know what he is,
but they traded
he keeps
a first
fucking
for
succeeding.
him. Like they traded a first for him. They
did.
They're locked in. They're locked into him. You know they're not moving off of him in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
He's
like,
there for.
I see
he's
him.
probably
and I just,
there for 5.
Like I see him, and I just want to grab him by the neck and throttle him. Like everybody, he is not a good head coach. I'm sorry. He was carried by Breeze. The reason why New Orleans has had success is because Breeze and Mike Thomas had a fucking connection in the late 2010s. And then Breeze just did the rest.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm going to put Bowles 1 tier ahead of him in safe after his extension.
You forgot Shane Steichen.
Oh, Bowles was in, for whatever reason, he was in front of Steichen for me.
Well, Shane Steichen, I'm putting him in warm seat. Anthony Richardson did not work out, and he was brought in because of because of him developing Josh Allen. The problem is there's only one Josh Allen. I'm putting him in bottom of warm seat. Like if this year doesn't work out, he's gone. There's no other way of putting it. He is gone.
I'll agree with that. And then fired. Next, that one's easy.
All right. Well, Todd Bowles.
Bottom fired.
Well, Todd Bowles, he is safe, and we just extended him.
Yeah,
I gotta put him above Mike McDonald, but below Sirianni. And then Zach Taylor fired above Raheem Morris. Like if there's any NFL coach who's a fucking fraud more than Sean Payton, it is fucking Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor is the worst head coach in the league.
Like, and we all see through it.
On the worst organization in the league.
We all see fucking through it. We know that offense goes through Joe Burrow and nothing else. It has nothing to do with Zach Taylor at all.
Dude, just imagine Cohen, McVay with that offense. Like, Dan Campbell with that offense, bro. Oh, my God.
Yeah. But still, if there's any reason why nobody likes Sean McVay, it's because Zach Taylor birthed from that system.
the Shanahan, they have the Shanahan tree, and that's where LaFleur's from, or was it McVay?
No, Kyle Shanahan is from the Shanahan system, I think, because his dad masterminded it, didn't he?
I think so. I think, but regardless, you're either from the Shanahan tree or the McVay tree. It's like there's so many from
with
that,
some exceptions here and there. Like there's Liam Cohen and Dave Canales are from the Todd Bowles tree. Like for example, Dan Campbell, I have no idea where the hell he came from, but I think it was the Patriots before. Wait, no, he was with the Saints. He was with the Saints before, so I think technically he's the Sean Payton tree, technically.
Yeah.
But there's my list. Draz's will be on the other side, so can't really complain. And I see you already
like the
sent
fact
me
that Dan Campbell's the highest rated coach in the league.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's the same for me.
You'd be surprised, but there's more safe coaches than unsafe. So
yeah, that is kind of weird. But with all that out of the way, it is now time for the news. And we have a little bit to talk about, don't we?
Yes. I'll take it off from here because I kind of have a stake in the Steelers here.
All right. Well, go ahead, Mr. Rogers.
All right. So, what I can't remember what day this happened. It was June 30th.
It's listed. It says June 30th.
Yeah, June 30th. The Dolphins traded Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith to the Steelers for Minkah Fitzpatrick.
And I think another pick.
It was a 5th and a 7th round pick swap. So it was like meaningless picks.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there are some surprises that can come from such picks.
True. But I actually, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think it is an upgrade. Like, I get Jonnu Smith's kind of thrown in there, but like Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Jonnu Smith is just there because that's Arthur Smith's version of crack.
Yeah. Minkah Fitzpatrick has been sneakily shit. Like, I'm not gonna. He has been a.
I will
like,
admit. I will admit that much.
He has been burnt a lot these last couple seasons.
But you're trading him for somebody who's
one interception in 2 years.
You're trading for somebody who's almost, if not as equally washed up.
Well, the thing is the Steelers have decent corners as it is. They have decent corners, and so.
I mean, Joey Porter Jr. is not really panning out so far.
But long story short, they have good enough corners that I can't remember who their number one corner is right now. But Jalen Ramsey doesn't have to be the number one guy. The Dolphins had him at number one going against the best player every single night, and he's 30, and most people he's going against are 20, 24, 25. He doesn't have to be a speedster, like one-on-one beast. He just has to be 80% of what Jalen Ramsey used to be, and they have an upgrade.
Either way, the Dolphins extending him whenever they did was a huge mistake because he did not warrant getting that big of an extension.
It was.
And they got off of the worst contract because the Steelers are footing most of the bill. So they're actually shedding off one of the worst contracts in the league right now. Albeit they are taking Minkah Fitzpatrick, but at the same time, Minkah Fitzpatrick was Miami Dolphins, so maybe he has a little bit of resurgence. Probably not, but who knows?
But yeah, I do think Jalen Ramsey's better than Fitzpatrick right now. Like, and he fits into the Steelers better. Like, I'm gonna say overall the Steelers won this because they also got Jonnu Smith, who is a good player, and now they have a really good two tight end duo with Freiermuth and Smith. and I like to see that.
I'm just waiting for the Storm Duck breakout season for Miami now.
All right, and speaking of Miami trading, this if anything could get Mike McDaniel fired, it's this next news that we have.
Mm-hmm. Darren Waller unretiring as Dolphins acquired tight end in trade. They traded a 7th round pick for that, or a 6th round pick for somebody who's been out of the NFL for a year to pursue music. Now people can argue. Gronk did the same thing.
Did you just see me facepalm, like, seeing this again? Like, I don't even want to talk about this. It is so disgusting to me.
Like, it is so, like, we know Darren Waller. He crashed out, left for a year, and now all of a sudden wants to come back. We saw Gronk do the same thing in 2019 where he retired and then unretired to play with Brady again. But that's Gronk. He's one of the best tight ends of all time. Darren Waller, he had 2 good seasons?
Can I just a little bit of a rant. You know who they had 3 years ago at tight end?
The Giants?
That they refused to, no, the Dolphins. That they refused to extend.
Mike Gesicki, I think.
Mike Gesicki, who is now a good tight end on the Bengals. He had 665 passing yards in that offense with the weapons that they had. He had 665 receiving yards.
Just don't ask him to do the gritty after his touchdown celebrations.
They could have extended him, and I don't know. It just pisses me off. It's
they let somebody who was actually good walk. I know it.
And the thing is then they let him. He had to go to the fucking Patriots.
He went to the Patriots and then the Bengals, and the Bengals extended.
And the Patriots with Bill Belichick and stuff. They didn't use him. He had no snaps because they didn't like the fact that he couldn't block, even though he's a great receiving guy. So Mac Jones never threw to him. And so he had a wasted season where he had 5 targets the whole year against the Patriots. Mike Gesicki got fucked. He deserved to get an extension. And now at least he's on a team that cares about offense. I'll say that. He's on a team with a good quarterback.
He's on the most offensive player friendly team on earth.
Yeah.
It's just run by a complete fucking hack.
But now the Dolphins have this, it's just a disgusting move. And I just hate it. I hate the Dolphins.
Well, next,
I want the Dolphins to be successful too, and I hate them because they're so pathetic.
Well, next, Justin Tucker got a 10-week suspension from the NFL.
Justified.
Only 1 game less than the Sean Cosby's.
Justified.
Could you imagine you're 1 week better of a human being than the Sean?
Who's gonna sign him anyway? He was washed.
Nobody's gonna sign him. That's the thing. Especially with you're a washed kicker, and now you got a 10-week suspension on top of you. That's forced retirement.
Good. That's all I gotta say is good.
Well,
all right.
Moving on to the college ranks, the lawsuit accusing BYU QB Jake Retzlaff of rape was dismissed. And according to the article, he is going to transfer out of BYU because both the prosecution and the defense did acknowledge that there was consensual sex, and that breaks BYU's code of conduct. So he has to transfer out, or he's going to be suspended for a year.
Okay.
That's the only thing the two sides could agree on, that there was consensual shit involved.
Oh my god.
Now,
I'm not going to say anything about that one. No comments.
Now, at the cost of potential being a hypocrite, I am going to say I still think Jake Retzlaff is guilty. But at the same time, the case did get dismissed.
There's no way.
There's no cover up from there's no cover up from BYU or anything. The difference between this and Jameis Winston, there was DNA evidence of Winston doing it and FSU covering it up. This, BYU acknowledged it, did not cover it up, and Retzlaff, whatever happened, it happened. Like, I don't know. We don't know, but there's actual DNA evidence with Winston.
It's impossible to know. I'm not even going to comment on it. Like, I just find it dumb that he's even, like, say he's innocent and he just has to transfer away from BYU just because he boinked some lady.
Oh, good Lord.
Like, it's just stupid. Like, it's just stupid.
Well, moving on to college. Go on.
Everybody at the school is not doing the same thing. You're not kidding. You're not kidding anyone, BYU. You're not kidding anyone.
Well, continuing on, the Pac-12 is going to have Texas State in their conference in 2026. Make it make sense. Texas State is not even nowhere near the West Coast. Like, I'm sorry, but with realignment, my OCD-driven mind, is so tied to geographical ties. It is screaming at what conferences have done with their teams. The ACC that has Stanford and Cal. Stanford and Cal. Why? In the Atlantic Coastal Conference. Ugh.
All right.
But moving on to NBA. The Knicks are expected to hire Mike Brown as coach. Me not knowing anything about the NBA, I'll let Drez take this one.
I don't even know who Mike Brown is, to be honest. 4-time champion as a top assistant in Golden State and San Antonio. Okay. He was fired by the Kings in December after a 13-18 start to the season.
Oh yeah,
this despite having led the franchise to a first playoff berth in 16 seasons.
In how many seasons?
16, breaking the longest postseason drought in NBA history. What? So why did... Okay, well, Knicks might sneakily get a good coach. We'll see. It could be a disaster, but I don't know enough about him, you know.
Say it's still more than what I know about basketball. But what I do know about basketball is the OKC Thunder. And the OKC Thunder gave Shai Gilgeous-Alexander a $285 million extension.
Yeah, they gave him the Supermax, which, I mean...
Yeah, but the problem is the luxury tax will probably come with it.
Not yet, probably. If he's the only one you're playing.
Oh, Lord.
Only one you're paying.
But still, yeah, I think that's the most OKC's handed out for a contract ever. Like, even whenever we had Russell Westbrook, I think this is the biggest contract we ever fielded to a player.
Yeah. Dude. the history will remember the outcome of the Paul George trade in such a weird
And we will
light.
endlessly laugh at the Clippers.
Paul George is like basically out of the NBA now.
About to say, is he even on a team?
I think he was off the 76ers, I think, officially.
I'm going to look this up real quick. Paul George. He's on the 76ers right now.
Okay. Dude, he averaged 16 points last year. God damn, dude.
Hold on. I just looked this up. Top headline from Sports Illustrated. New blockbuster 3-team trade proposal sends LeBron to Philadelphia, Paul George to the Lakers. What are they smoking?
I mean... I don't even know. The Lakers don't want him. Nobody wants Paul George.
I don't blame him for nobody wanting him.
I mean, he was a great player. He should have never left the Pacers, though.
All
But,
right.
you know.
We got 2 more to get through.
All right. Dude, Damian Lillard gets waived by the Bucks.
Oh, the poor bastard. Tears his Achilles and then he gets told to fuck off.
So, Damian Lillard is like one of my favorite players because of, I mean, he, as much as people say like, oh, he was just getting paid a lot of money, he did stay loyal for a long time before it became about money at Portland, right? So there is real loyalty there, but I also don't blame the Trailblazers for moving off of him when they did, right? It was like the problem is the Bucks should not have been the team he went to. They had to pay him too much, but they stretched his remaining $113 million on his contract till 2030 that they could sign more people to try to contend with Giannis. All that for Giannis to reportedly not like the fact that they released Damian Lillard in the first place.
It's not like he requested a trade or anything.
Well, he did basically say that he was like super happy that they waived him.
Uh-oh.
So
wherever Damian Lillard goes, he's going to force a trade over there.
Well, he can go anywhere he wants now because he's waived.
I'm still waiting for him.
Somebody.
I'm still waiting for the curveball of OKC somehow trading for him.
Well, he's not going to get traded. He's a free agent. He could get paid $1, and he's still going to get all of his money.
Right. You're correct. I forgot he was a free agent.
So he's basically going to get his $60 million a year just stretched until 2030. So he could just go somewhere for like a $10 million deal, be super cheap on somebody's payroll, and be a sixth man. Like I'm excited to where, like, I hope he comes back and he can play meaningful minutes after the Achilles tear. Like, I really hope that, because like, imagine him being a sixth man for someone like the Nuggets. Like, that would be wild.
That'd be wild. That'd be scary. That would be scary.
Dame time, even aging Dame time is terrifying in the playoffs.
But last thing to talk about, MLB stuff. All-Star voting has concluded. And shockingly enough, we both have things to talk about. Because to my great shock, the Orioles actually voted somebody into the All-Star game.
DH, designated hitter, Ryan O'Hearn.
Ryan O'Hearn is the DH for the American League. How?
What is his stats this year?
Don't tell me he got in out of pity from Baltimore fans.
His 2025 season stats are 294, 11 home runs, 30 RBIs.
Okay. So not bad.
I mean, it's not horrible.
He's not horrible. But... Not horrible. But on Detroit's side of things, Gleyber Torres at second base, Riley Green in outfield, and Javier fucking Baez is how?
You got 3 Tigers. Jesus Christ.
Give me a second.
God, there's 3 Dodgers and 3. There should only be 1 player per team. I don't know how that works, but I still don't know how the Orioles got one, though.
One eternity later.
I'm back, and I'm apologizing to Joy because nobody wanted me to see me in my boxers today.
I was going to say, why aren't you wearing pants?
All right, well, that was basically all we had to talk about.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So, if you like this, thanks for sticking around. But if you like this, subscribe if you want to. Click the bell to get notification when we upload. Next episode of Battle for Pay will be here next week, as per usual.
And we'll have to figure out what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we will see you guys next time. See ya.
Peace.